Hi everyone and welcome to my unboxing video of Ander Night in Path Celes limited box. So this is kind of weird series because to some extent it hasn't been a series before this game, because they released the original game about 10 years ago, maybe a little over 10 years ago, like 12 years. And after that they've been releasing only like new iterations of that first game and not like full sequel. So for so many years they've been like updating the first game with new content and so on. So it's been like a little bit hard series to get into because I think I only have like the latest iteration of the first game, which was released like a few years ago. And I finally wanted to give it a try. I tried it, I liked it, but to some extent I was feeling like I was kind of late to the party or something like that, because I was getting into that game so late. Technically, even though it was new release with that latest iteration, technically the game was kind of like about 7 or 8 years old already at that point. Kind of weird feeling to even think like that. It's too late to get into the game at some point. Why it should be like that? But for some reason I felt like that. So even though I always wanted to get into the first game, I only played it a little bit. But now, a few years ago, they finally announced that they are going to make a full sequel to the first game, finally, kind of to celebrate 10th year anniversary of the series. So it's already 10 years old game, but now getting the first sequel to the first game. And they are continuing this kind of confusing subtitles, and even the Roman number 2 is behind the title of the game, so it makes even more confusing when you don't see the number 2 back there. I do like the box here, maybe a little empty background, maybe like some sort of pattern or something would have been nice, but I do still like the minimalistic style, and I do like the front cover artwork. But yeah, I guess that was enough of intro to the game itself. Let's see the contents of this limited box. First, some extra downloadable content, and I believe I already showed the code. So this is simply some announcer voices to be used in the game. Next, original soundtrack and also opening animation video on Blu-ray. Memorial art book. Oh, seems like quite thick art book. I don't see any page numbers, but I believe this will take a while to go through. And last item here, game box itself. So not a huge amount of items in this such small and tightly packed box, but I feel like there's everything that is needed in limited edition game itself, soundtrack and art book. Where do we start? Maybe let's start with the soundtrack case. Again, some lovely character artwork on the cover. Ander Nightin Part 2 Sista Celes original soundtrack and opening animation. So there's the track list, 24 tracks in total. So nice amount of tracks for the soundtrack, and this was a nice surprise. I didn't realize there's openings of all the games, not only the sequel at the end there, but also openings of all the iterations of the first game. So there you can see how kind of confusing it is, how many different iterations the first game got over the years. And inside the original soundtrack disc, CD and opening animation Blu-ray. And even a little booklet. Oh, I think it's like a little commentary on the soundtrack, talking about the background music and working on the sequel and how it started in 2012. That's nice. Oh, and also lyrics for the vocal songs on the soundtrack. That's nice as well. And before we start going through the memorial art book, let's take a quick look inside the game box. So much more colorful cover on the game box compared to the dark covers of other items here. So 24 playable characters, and I believe there's some DLC characters coming also, and here's a season pass for those upcoming characters, starting with Kuon and 3 others. I believe they were already revealed on the official website, so I wonder why they didn't reveal them here. But yeah, DLC code for the upcoming characters. Nice that they give you those upcoming characters as well. Too many times you have to pay a little bit extra for the new characters after the game's release. And same artwork on the disc as well. But yeah, now all other items out of the way. Let's start going through the kind of small but thick art book. As soon as I have bent the spine a little bit. Oh, I see some promising artwork already here. But yeah, let's start. So, contents list, some visual illustrations at the beginning, a lot of character artwork, and at the end also some web illustrations and bonus illustrations. I love it when there's so much illustration artwork. Even though still most of it is character artwork. And yeah, I believe these are illustrations for the first game's different iterations. I believe these are both for the arcade releases of the game. Like the very original artwork of the first game. I can see why they called it memorial art book when they give you also artwork of the previous releases. And there's also some arcade illustration, but I believe this is like home release artwork from one of the games. Yeah, packaged artwork. And that artwork I remember. Maybe that is from the game that I actually have. And there's the cover artwork of this game, as well as the limited box artwork as well. And next we start going through a lot of character artwork, starting with Hyde. I remember him being like main character in the story. A lot of little details and some commentary on the details, but the text is so small that it's really hard to see. can't read. And some facial expressions used during the story scenes, as well as those so lovely in-game sprite artworks. I always liked the sprite artwork of the games. Linne or Rina. So terribly hard name to pronounce that I'm not going to even attempt, because it would sound so bad if I try to pronounce that name. Coming. Very scared looking character design, but I love how intimidating the character looks. Olje. Corridor. Merkaba. Batista. She kind of reminds me of Rachel from Blaze Blue. The dress is so similar and the color scheme and yeah. Set. Very mysterious looking character with hiding his face. Usually I love the jacket here. Hilda. Chaos. So, summoning some creature to aid him in battle. Nanase. Byakuya? Maybe? Fun? Mika? Kind of ridiculous how huge those gauntlets are. Is that the correct word? Maybe. Okuna? Enkidu? But I feel like I do love the kind of overly ridiculous artwork of them. Roundrekia? Silky? Kaguya? Kuhon? I remember him being in quite dominant role in many of the trailers. So I think he must be like villain of the story or something like that. Very likely. Elton. Kashiki. Suddenly quite scary looking expression between so many calm faces. And now we get into the web illustrations. So I wonder if these are like fan artwork or if they are simply made to celebrate like holidays and such as little commercial illustrations. And also years from when they were released. Even some birthday celebrations for some of the characters. Oh, and Saint Valentine's Day. Isn't it almost time for that again? And I'm going to guess now we are going into the bonus illustration part of the art book. So some posters of the first game. and I am seeing kind of theme for these posters that they chose to advertise the game. Oh, also some disc mat. And tapestry. So yeah, bunch of different illustrations used for different kind of merchandise during the 10 years of the series. And that's all of our lovely memorial art book. I did like it. So much illustration, artwork from about a decade. So yeah, and I suppose that's everything. Pretty simple limited edition in the sense that it only includes the usual game artwork, art book and soundtrack. Of course the opening animations are a little bit extra, so that's nice. And also some downloadable content for the game. So it's nice to have some upcoming content to wait after the release and not having to pay extra for that content. But yeah, at least I did like it. A lot of lovely artwork and seems like full soundtrack, and it was a nice surprise that they included not only the opening animation of this game but also of the different iterations of the first game. And I love how the art book features artwork from so much so long time. Earliest artwork was from like 2011, so over a decade ago. So yeah, nice little simple limited edition. At least I liked it, and I am excited to try the game. So that's everything. Thanks for watching and bye.